Right. In a child's pose, arms stretched out, knees wide, toes point back together so you can sit deep back into the hips. If it's not comfortable because of knees or problems in the hips, then just take a more comfortable seat. If it is comfortable, just make sure you've got the knees nice and wide so you can relax the belly down in between the thighs. Really sit deep into the hips and the lower back. Opening through the shoulders. So just make sure you're not resisting through the shoulders and the chest. Not trying to carry the arms off the ground, but instead softening through the shoulders, softening through the forearms, relaxing through the hands. Just make sure there isn't too much stress through the grip in the palm of the hands. And just 2 more big breaths. Inhale. Exhale for 1. Inhale. Soften the shoulders as you exhale for 2. Push down into the hands, spread them wide, so fingers spread out into the floor. Pull yourself forwards, find all fours. Inhale, open the chest, cat-cow. Exhale, start to round out, curl through the spine, chin into chest, abdominals in. Open the chest forwards on your next in-breath. Round out on your out-breath. So really start to use and strengthen through the waist. Start to support and engage around the lower back. Seeing how much movement there is, how the spine feels, how the body feels. Just waking it up if you've had a pretty still day or pretty still afternoon. Just get moving. Holding the rounding on this one, so keep pushing through the arms. And then we're going to draw those big circles with the spine. So drop the chest and the ribcage over to the left. Big rotation, scoop over to the right, and then round back through the spine. So you're trying to create a space as big as possible. So how much movement is there through the side of the body? How much stretch can you get into the hips, into the ribcage, into the shoulders? All those areas that we sometimes forget about when we practice. And then we're just going to swing it the other way. So pause and just change your direction. Get used to bearing weight down through the hands. Get used to the pressure through the wrists, the knuckles, the fingers. Take another 2 big circles. And then on your next one, find stillness. Tuck the toes. Keep the spine long, so the spine flat. Just lift the knees off the floor. Transfer the weight slightly further forward so the shoulders come over the wrists. And feel the strength down through the arms, into the waist. Pull the navel to the spine, hovering still there. And then hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Stretch it out. Take the heels back, lengthen through the backs of the legs. Bend the knees, give your hips a bit of a shake from side to side. Kind of move and fidget as much as you need to. So be your own teacher a little. See how much you need to move. Big long step, left foot to the outside of the left hand. Keep the back knee lifted and reach that left arm up to the chest, up to the sky, open the chest. Driving forwards into the right hip. So you're constantly lengthening through the right hip flexors, up, out through the left fingertips. And then bring that left hand down. Step back into your downward dog. Other side, so big long step, right foot outside of the right hand. Keep the left knee lifted. Inhale, reach and open through those right fingertips. See how it feels to take that big long opening stretch. And then bring the right hand down. Take the feet back into your downward facing dog. And then soften the knees slightly. Usually we walk the feet forwards. I want you to bring the hands back. So walk the hands backwards, folding over the lower body, relaxing. So seeing if you can rest the belly down onto the thighs. If that means bending the knees, that's absolutely fine. Don't force the legs straight. Staying heavy through the lower body, staying quite still through the lower body. Walk both hands over to the left side of your mat. So walk the hands over to the left, trying to keep the hips where they are so we get a good stretch through the outside of the lower back, particularly on the right hand side. Trying to open around the right waist, the lower back, the hip, and then bring it back to center. Take it all the way over to the right, open around that left hip, the left side of the lower back, through the waist, and then bring it back to center. Draw the feet closer together so the big toes touch, the ankles touch, bend into the knees, take your chair, reach the arms up to the sky, pull the waist in, draw the navel to the spine, feel that pull into the center of the body. So really try and wrap the obliques round, the abdominals in, pull the lower ribs in, and then take the hands down by the side, behind the back, interlace, stretch the chest open, pull the shoulders down, bow forwards, take the chest down, crown of the head to the floor, hands reach up high as you lean slightly into the toes. So trust yourself to go forwards into the toes. Feel the hips lengthen and lift. Carefully release the arms down to the ground. Left hand stays underneath the face. Reach the right arm up to the sky. Big stretch. Open across the right side of the chest. See if you can start to straighten the right leg. Open around the back of the right thigh as you reach up and open across the chest. Bring the right hand down. Switch it over to the left side. Start to straighten the left leg. Reach that left arm up. Open across the left side. Can you lift up through that left thigh? Pull the chest open, really twist through the center of the body. And then bring that left hand down. Now walk the hands back out. Come into your downward facing dog. Give the head a shake. Wiggle side to side. Release through the jaw. Roll into your plank position. Hold that plank a moment. Pull the waist in. Push to the hands long through the arms. Move forwards with the chest. Think about the crown of the head moving forwards, and then rest the knees. Bend the elbows into the side of the waist. Take it all the way down to the ground. Point the toes. Hands interlace bottom of the lower back. Lift the chest forwards. Pull the knuckles back. Point the toes. Make the back of the body strong. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. Hands to the floor. Toes tuck, knees bend. Take it back into downward facing dog. Steady yourself here. Always steadying yourself when you come back to your downward dog. Always resetting, analyzing how you feel, whether you need to rest, whether there's more in the tank. And then either we repeat the same again or roll forwards to a plank position. So option 1 would be knees, chest and chin as we did. Option 2, keep the arms straight, lower the hips, move the chest forwards, come into your up dog without a bend through the elbows. So just moving forwards through the chest. Squeeze the glutes, pull the shoulders back. Chin in, navel in, lift back up. So we'll all meet in down dog, depending which variation you tuck. Push into the hands, lift through the arms. And then see if you can almost bounce into the shoulders, just opening into the front of the chest, and then pushing into the back of the body to settle back into your downward dog. Reach the right leg to the ceiling, lift through that right heel, pull the right knee into the chest, lift. So use the abdominals, feel the waist pulling in, step the right foot forwards, lower the back knee down. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Lift the arms up, open the chest, take the hands all the way down the side, round to the lower back, interlace the fingers, lift the chest, lift the heart, squeeze into that left glute, so you're still opening through the left hip as you move the chest forwards and upwards. Bring the chest forwards, release the hands to the ground. Left hand stays there. Right arm reaches up and twist. Now as you twist, see if you can keep that right knee pulling in nice and close. So we're going to strengthen around the right hip, the inside of the right thigh, trying to not just let that right knee fall out to the side. Keeping the left hand down, keeping the left knee down. Step your right leg to the back of the mat. Toes point over to the right side. So we have a side plank variation. Reach your right arm over. We'll take a long stretch through that right side of the waist. Stretch the fingers further forwards. Lift that right hip to the ceiling. And then bring the right hand down. Let both knees rest to the floor. Tuck the toes, take the hips to the sky, back to down dog. Breathe in. Let the breath go out. Breathe in. On your exhale, lift the hips. Inhale. Exhale, lengthen the back of the neck. We want the ears to be in line with the biceps, no stress, no pressure through the back of the neck. Take the left leg to the ceiling. Keep reaching that left heel high. Draw the left knee in, carry it in using the waist, using the strength in the front of the body. Step forwards, lower the back knee down. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, sweep them round, take them behind the lower back. Find the opposite interlace, so the finger that feels like the grip feels a bit wrong. Squeeze into that right glute. Lift the chest forwards, open across the chest. Still opening through the hip. And then moving the body forwards, resting to the thigh. Place both hands down. Right hand stays there. Left arm reaches up. As you pull that left knee in, so it's easy to let the left knee fall out. I want you to keep holding that left knee in so there's more strength through the inside of the thigh. Lifting through the left fingertips, avoiding any compression around the right shoulder. Keep the right hand, right knee down, take the left leg to the back of the mat. Reach the left arm up, find your balance, side plank. And then left arm stretches over, so we extend the left side of the waist. Make more space, more height through the hips. Left hand down, rest both knees, take it back to downward facing dog. Inhale, breath. Exhale. Take the feet out wide, so they're about mat width apart, a little wider than normal. Bring your body forwards to a plank. Hold that plank steady. Drop the heels to the left, toes to the right, and reach the right arm up. So wide through the legs, reaching up through that right arm, engaging around the left hip. So just strengthening through the side of the waist. Switch to the other side, right hand down. Drop the heels to the right, toes to the left, reach the left arm up. So can you lift that right hip further from the floor? Think about creating a bit more space underneath that right hip. Bring the left hand down and into down dog. Pedal through the feet. Just move through the ankles, through the knees, through the hips. And then your right leg. Reach up to the sky. I want you to bend your right knee, still keeping the hip facing down towards the floor. So we're not opening it to the side, just bending the right knee. Look forwards so you start to extend through the back. And then pull the right knee into the chest, step the right foot forwards. Keep the back knee lifted. Inhale, rise up, high lunge. Lifting up through the chest, opening through that left hip. Lifting tall. Can you lift the rib cage away from the hips? Can you make more space there? More length. Breathe in and breathe out. As you sit lower on that exhale, feel the stretch, feel the opening through the left hip. Take your left hand, bend the elbow, place the left hand to the shoulder blades, the upper back. Take your right hand to the left elbow and just stretch through the left tricep. So lift the chest, open through the left shoulder. And then release the arms back up, open to your warrior two. From your warrior two, stay bent in that front knee, rest the right elbow, sweep the left arm long. And now we've opened the tricep. See if there's more space. Can you reach more through that left side of the body? Take a big inhale. Exhale, left hand comes down to the ground. Turn and lower the left knee. And then reach both arms up to the sky. Hands into a prayer. Twist that left elbow outside of the right knee. Push down into your right thigh, the outside of the right knee, really twist. Keep the breath in and out through the nose so that any heat we generate stays in the body, keeps us nice and warm. Use the breath to go a bit further, so each time you exhale, is there a little more twist? Inhale. Exhale. Look back down to the ground, take both hands down, step back. So take the right leg back, both knees to the ground, tuck the toes, downward dog. Inhale, breath. Exhale, one, pull the waist in, provide support for the lower back. Try and wrap the obliques in from the side. So all the way around the waist, pulling towards the spine. Take the left leg to the sky. Now bend the left knee. So what you're trying to do is bring the left heel towards the back of the hips whilst keeping the hip facing down. So not opening the hip to the side, just trying to bring the heel to the hips. And then look forwards in your down dog so that we extend the spine. And then step the left foot to the hands. Keep the back right knee lifted. Inhale, rise for your high lunge. Opening deep through that right hip. Always resting the knee. If you want to rest it down, lengthening the tailbone, pulling in through the abdominals. So when we're in any kind of lunge like this, we don't want to sink and rest into that left thigh. We want to try and pull away from the left thigh almost. Bend the right elbow. Hand to the upper back. Hold the right elbow. Stretch the tricep. Lift the chest. Feel that opening there through the tricep. And then arms to the ceiling, your warrior two. Toes to the right. Stretch it out wide. Reach open across the arms. Rest the left elbow. Right arm up and over. Big long line of extension. Pulling the waist in. Squeezing the glutes on. Take the right hand to the floor. Turn and lower the right knee. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, twist right elbow outside of left knee, left thigh. Push down to lift the chest. Using the breath. So inhale, think about lengthening the spine. And then exhale, can you twist further? So inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. One more, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Look down to the ground. Take the hands down, step back both knees, and then tuck the toes. Take it back to downward dog. Rolling the spine forwards, finding your plank. Be strong through your plank, rest the knees. Now I want you to keep the chest open. So think about keeping the chest parallel to the ground, to your mat. Bend the elbows into the side of the body, but don't come any further than 90 degrees at the elbows. Hold it there. Strengthen, pull the waist in, and then push back up. So one more time, it's only half a push-up. Bend at the elbows, keep the chest open, push back up. Sit back into your child's pose. Stretch that out. Just rock and move a little side to side as you settle. Might come to stillness quicker, or you might take a little longer. Whatever you need. Releasing through the shoulders, steadying the breath. Take an inhale and an exhale. Take an inhale and an exhale. One more breath. And let it go. Push into the hands. Rise up all fours. Toes tucked. Take it into your downward dog. And then side plank like we did before. I'll give you an option for a little more if you want it. So take the feet out wide and then roll into your plank position. You're stable there in your plank. Drop the heels to the left, toes to the right. Reach that right arm up And then if you like, just pushing into the left bottom foot, reach the right leg off the ground. So you'll have to bring that right leg back to stack it over the left leg. Take the right foot back to the right side of your mat. Bring it back to your normal plank. Toes to the left, heels to the right. Lift the left arm up. We're staying there or choosing to lift that left leg. Bring it up in space above the right. Holding that right waist off the ground. Left leg back to the left side of the mat. Bring the left hand down. Stretch it back into downward dog. Breathe in. And breathe out. Roll forwards to your plank. Rest it all the way down to the ground. So bring it all the way down. Hands stay under the shoulders, point the toes. Inhale, lift the chest. Pull the shoulders back and down. So really working on that extension through the spine, pinching between the shoulder blades. And let it go. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Pinch between the shoulder blades. So strengthen through the back. Exhale, lower. Final 1. Inhale, lift. Squeeze the shoulders down. Exhale, lower. Take it back to your downward dog. Stretching the hips up. Grounding through the balls of the feet. Lengthening through the heels. Pulling up through the thighs. Pulling in around the waist. And then asking yourself, are you flaring out in the lower ribs? Are you sticking the lower ribs out? Or can you pull the lower ribs back in and feel that engagement through the upper abdominals? Take an inhale, reach the right leg to the sky. Exhale, pull the right knee into the chest, step the right foot forwards. Keep the left knee lifted, inhale, rise, high lunge. And then keep your lower body nice and stable and strong. Lift the chest and start to look up to the ceiling. Don't be afraid of bending backwards. You can squeeze that left glute to really protect the left hip and the lower back. Take a big inhale. Exhale, rise back up. Open to warrior 2. Stretch the arms out. Push into the feet. So ground down into the feet. Open the arms out wide. Straighten that front leg. Take your left hand behind the back and reach for the inside of the right thigh. So if you don't quite get it, grab t-shirt or trousers and then shuffle your left foot in slightly. Hinge from the right hip. So we're reaching into triangle, reaching that right arm forwards, taking the right hand down. The legs are straight. Engage the thighs. Pull that left shoulder back. So we've got that left hand wrapped around our back to remind us to pull the chest open. Pull that left shoulder back so that we're almost leaning against an imaginary wall behind us. Keep the bind, so keep hold of your t-shirt, your trousers or your thigh. Bend into that right knee. Reach the right arm up, flip the palm as you do so. We'll reverse the warrior. So reach up and back. And then hands release to the ground. Carefully lower that back knee to the floor. Bring your right hand inside of your right foot and either stay on hands or come down to forearms, relaxing the head. If you're somewhere between hands and forearms, just go on one side, rest one elbow. When we come to the other side, you can rest the other elbow. Don't just turn off here though, don't just let your awareness go. Send your tailbone under, pull the waist in. Notice how much that opens the front of the left hip. Space through the shoulders, space between the rhomboids. So we're trying to pull the shoulders down and slightly out here, giving some space into the upper middle back. If you wish, if you want more A bit more, reach that right arm up, find a big opening twist. That's super open for all of us. And then if you want, you can bend that back left knee, reach back for the left foot, pulling that left foot in, opening through the left thigh. If you're doing that, really concentrate on lifting the chest forwards. I want you to definitely avoid rounding through the chest. I want you to lift and think extension through the back. And then let that go. We'll all meet hands or forearms. And then from wherever you are, coming up, taking the right knee next to the left knee. So both knees are at the back of the mat. Just take a cat-cow. Inhale forwards. Exhale round. Keeping the round there. Toes are pointed back. Pushing into the tops of the feet and the toes just lift the knees. So quite a stretch through the front of the ankles for some. Pulling the waist in. Bringing your shoulders right over the wrists so we don't back off from the work. And then rest the knees. Toes tuck, hips lift, downward dog. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. You need to think about pushing into the fingertips, pushing down into the knuckles, not just the heel of the hand, the palm of the hand. Take the left leg up to the sky, inhale, breath. Exhale, pull the left knee into the chest, step the left foot forwards, rise up, high lunge. So reach the arms up. Now, as you move into that right hip, trust yourself, squeeze the right glute, look up to the ceiling and open the chest. Find a slight back bend. Keep breathing. Rise back up. Open to your warrior 2. Right arm back, left arm forward, sit low. Glutes on, legs strong. Right hand this time comes behind the back. Maybe we grab t-shirt, trousers, or we're reaching for the inner thigh. Straighten your left leg. Shuffle your back right foot in. Hinge from the hip and reach. So lengthen through that left side. Legs are strong. Left hand down. Right shoulder pulls back. No rounding through the chest. Nice and open across the chest. Breathing here, lifting up through the thighs, pushing down through the feet. And then keeping that bind or that grip onto the t-shirt, bend into your left knee. Reach the left arm out, flip the palm to the ceiling. Reach up, arch back, open the side of the waist. Exhale, take the hands all the way down to the ground. Turn and lower the right knee to the floor. Hands come just inside of the left foot so we can rest to elbows if we like, or stay on hands. Release the back of the head and the neck. Done quite a lot of extending through the spine, so enjoy letting the weight of the head relax forwards. Think about the pelvis. Can you lengthen the tailbone and the lower back and pull the waist in more? Yes, so getting into the front of that right hip. This is option 1. Option 2 would be to reach that left arm up to the sky and add a twist. Option 3, bending your right knee, reaching back with the left hand for the right foot, really emphasizing that the chest stays facing forwards as we pull that right foot in. Moving the right hip down, lifting forwards through the chest, pulling that left shoulder back. And then let that go. Bring the left hand down. Come to both hands. Take the left knee back next to the right knee. Just take the hands out to the side, so the fingers face the side of the room, and then walk them all the way back round. So the fingers face towards you. They might not come quite all the way. We're going to do cat-cow here, stretching more into the forearms. So open the chest, look forwards. Round through the spine. Pull the chin in. Push into the hands. One more, inhale forwards. And exhale round. Release. Neutral spine. Hands come back. Tuck the toes. Lift the hips. Stretch into your downward dog. Pulling the waist in. Imagine someone stood right behind you and they're lifting your hips. As they lift your hips back, not only do you feel the waist lengthen, you feel the shoulders open, but now the legs are longer, so there's more stretch through the hamstrings. Bend into the knees. Walk the feet in. Just take your time, bringing the feet to the hands, taking them slightly further apart so they're about hip width, resting down. Take your first two fingers, hook around the big toe. Pull the elbows out to the side, shoulders away from the ears, hips to the ceiling, belly trying to connect and stay connected with the thighs. Bring the head in so the back of the neck is nice and long, no extra stress or tension. And then slowly roll up, curling up through the spine, taking your time, no rush. Coming to stand, open the arms so the palms face forwards, close the eyes, pull the shoulders down the back, feel the space across your chest, across your collarbones, pushing into the feet, reaching down through the fingers. Take an inhale breath and an exhale breath. Inhale and an exhale. And then bring the hands into prayer heart center. Open the eyes. Shift the weight to the left foot. Bring the right knee into the chest. Kick the body forwards and drive that right heel back. So coming into your warrior three balance, lifting up through that left thigh, taking the chest forwards. If you like, bend that right knee so the right heel comes in towards the back of the right hip. And then another option from there to try and lift the chest and look slightly forward. So we get used to trying to find a very active back bend, heart opener. Whichever variation of the balance you're in, place both feet down, rise to standing, inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, very gently forward fold, let the body weight hang down. Give the head a little wriggle, a rock from side to side. And then roll it up. Carefully taking your time, coming up to standing. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands straight to prayer heart center. Weight to the right foot. Left knee into chest this time. Torso forwards. Kick and extend that left leg back. Find your balance. Kick out through the left heel. Pull the waist in. Try not to let yourself drop forwards. If you want, bend that left knee. So you're also strengthening the hamstring and the glutes. And then maybe look forwards. Start to think about a bow shape. One day thinking about kicking the heel to meet the back of the head. And then placing both feet down wherever you are. Reaching the arms to the sky, big inhale breath. Exhale breath, fold it forwards. Rest the body down. Give the head a little shake. Nod yes. Wriggle side to side now. Take the feet wider. And then folding more, so bend the knees more. Lift the feet so you're on the heels. Lift the toes, lift the front of the feet, and then slide the hands underneath the feet. Fingers pointing back to the heels. Push the weight of the feet down into the hands. Rest the chin into the chest. Lift the hips, so trust yourself to lift the hips. Open that back line, especially if you just took the variation where we bent the knee and lifted the chest forwards. This is a really nice way to open through the back. Take a full inhale and an exhale. Carefully let it go. Release the hands. Walk the feet out to the edges of the mat and turn the toes out. If you struggle to come down into a squat, you might want to take the feet wider and just come out really wide. If you can come all the way down, you're sitting down. Even if the heels start to lift, get used to trying to sit all the way down into the heels and the knees. If you're not near a squat, you can come up, hold on to the thighs and just stretch the inside of the hips. If you're able to come down, we're holding it for another 3. Push into the heels, work the knees out for 2. Squeeze the glutes for 1. And then maybe just drop the hips to the floor and take the feet in front of you. So if you're stood up, come down, find a seat. Give the legs a shake. Bend the right knee. Step the right foot over the left leg. Wrap the left arm around the right thigh. Right hand behind you. Fingertips to the floor. Lift the chest. And then pull that right shoulder back to help you twist. So inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lift. And exhale, twist. One more breath. And exhale. And back to center. Switch. So just take the right leg out. Bring the left knee over, left foot over. Right arm wraps. Left hand behind you. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. So really pull that left shoulder back. Let that lead the twist. If your left shoulder doesn't move, you're really struggling with somewhere to go. So pull that left shoulder back and then give space for all the torso to twist around. And then come back. Just extend both legs, give them a little bit of a shake. Look about where the knees are. Bend the feet to that point. And then you're just going to rock back onto the tailbone. Lift the feet off the floor. Shins parallel to the ground. Hands come up. Prayer just above the knees. So balancing here, kind of on the back of the seat bones, the tailbone. I'm going to take the hands over to the right and completely lift the right seat bone off the floor. So test your balance. Come back to center. Take your hands to the left. Lift the left seat bone off. Doesn't matter if you wobble. Come back. Just once more each side. So hands to the right. Right seat bone lift. Bring it back. Hands to the left. Left seat bone lift. Bring it back. Knees in. Cross the knees. Bring the hands forwards. Step back into downward facing dog. Stretch up. Stretch out the waist there. The abdominals. Push into the backs of the heels. Really open the hamstrings. Take a big inhale breath. And an exhale breath. Reach the right leg to the sky. Bend the right knee and open the right hip. So this may be where you stay. Both hands are pushing down. And you're just trying to pull that right heel into the back of the hips. If you want more, the right toes come all the way over to the floor. Chest lifts, right hand comes off the ground. More for those that want to play with balance. Lift the right toes and try and point the right toes towards the top of the mat. So you'll feel the contraction in the right hamstring. Place the right toes down. We'll all bring it back. Big step, right foot to the outside of the right hand. Lower the back knee. Look forwards, inhale. Exhale, reach the hands away from you. Lengthen through the front of the body. Relax the head in. Quite a big opening through that left hip. You can be on hands or forearms. Hands just gives you a bit more active work through the forearms, the shoulders, the chest. Pull the waist in. And then walk the hands back. Take your time. Just place the right knee next to the left knee. Spread the hands out again, tuck the toes. Take it back to downward dog. Pulling the waist in. Lifting the hips back. Remember to stay with the variation that you're comfortable with and accommodating for lots of different practices. Take your left leg up, bend the left knee, open the left hip. Option 1, pushing into the hands, pulling that left heel to the hips. Option 2, letting the left foot come all the way over, reaching the left arm off the ground so you're bending, opening through the chest. Option 3, lifting those left toes off the floor and pointing the toes to the top of the mat. You'll feel the hamstring kick in. Make that back bend very active. Release the toes. Left hand down, wherever we are, big step. Left foot outside of left hand, rest the back knee. Look forwards, gaze forwards. Exhale, reach into your lizard. So quite a long lizard stretch through that right hip. Bow the head. Pull the waist in. Keep very active and strong through the front line of the body. We did some exercises in Monday's Pilates class, which was like upper abdominal and shoulder strength. So this is utilizing that in another practice. And then walk the hands back. Take the left knee next to the right knee. And then move both knees out. Toes point together. Sit the hips back. Rest the forehead, your child's pose. If that's okay for your knees. And then you're going to reach the arms around towards the feet so that we truly let go across the shoulders. If your knees don't fully come down into a child's pose, you can always take more of a puppy stretch. So same thing, you're on your shins, but you're reaching the arms out and resting the chest forwards. And with time, the knees will sit back. The forehead, a little rock from side to side. And then pushing into the hands, coming forwards, rising to the knees. Walk the knees in. Take both feet out to the right hand side. Have a seat. Right leg out. Left foot stays in. So it sits just to the inside of the right leg. Shift and face your right thigh. Lift nice and tall. Reach the arms up to the ceiling. Now make a little promise with yourself to keep your ears and your biceps in one line. Hinging from the hips, reach forward. So try not to just dive forwards. Try and keep the spine straight. You might not go as far. Reaching out, away, keeping that length through the spine. Keeping that extension through the upper back, and then let the hands fall down and let the head round forwards to finish off that stretch through the back of the right leg. Soften through the shoulders. Soften through the jaw. Don't hold and resist there. And then come up. We'll switch, take the left leg out, bring the right leg in. So you're facing your left leg, toes pull back to the face, reach the arms up, ears and biceps in line, and then that promise to keep your spine straight, to keep the arms in line, reaching forward. So you most likely won't go all the way down, but we're holding it here, strengthening the back as we open through the hamstrings and the lower back. Holding for 2. On 1, rest the hands and let the head come down and in. You can see how that changes the stretch. Good to do everything not super passive, but instead make some things active. Sometimes yoga can be a little bit too passive, and especially if we spent the whole day sat down, maybe at a desk, not using our muscles, we need to turn them on, not lengthen and stretch them. Finding that happy balance between waking them up, turning them on, and letting things relax and release. Coming up, take both legs out in front of you, give them a little bit of a shake. And then bring the feet quite a wide diamond shape. So soles of the feet are together. So option one, option two might be quite confusing via Zoom. Option one is just to reach forwards with the feet and the knees in this diamond shape, stretching forwards, working on the hips. So moving the knees out to the side, bowing forwards. Coming up, option two is you're going to be in the same forward fold, but we're going to bind the arms under the knees. Not sure how easy it'll be to see on here. So I'm going to go right on first, taking my right arm underneath my right thigh and bringing it round to hold the t-shirt at the right side of my lower back. Taking my left arm underneath, reaching for my t-shirt so that I can slowly pull myself forwards. It's that same bind as we have when we are in a side angle or bird of paradise. Just trying to get some opening through the backs of the shoulders. Folding in. If you're just saying reaching forwards, this might be one that's a lot easier for me to teach and work with you in real life. And then let that go if you have it. Slowly, or not very gracefully, pull yourself out of that. Bring your hips a bit further forwards. Place the feet to the floor, so plant the feet, have the knees bent. Reach the arms out and roll down the spine. Just taking your time, pulling the waist in, rolling it down to the floor. Let your back find the ground, arms down by the side, feet flat. Walk the feet in so they come a little bit closer, doesn't have to be all the way in. Tuck the tailbone, pull the abdominals in to flatten that space at the front of the body. Now lift the hips up to the sky. You can stay here, pushing down into the big toe, pushing down into the heel, or if you like, interlace the hands, pull the knuckles towards the feet. So try and pull your knuckles towards the heels. Keep the waist pulling in, keep the body strong. So don't just fling the hips up and open too much into the chest. We want to keep that stable and strong, opening through the shoulders. Done quite a bit of work extending through the back. So use that, push into the feet, push, lift the hips, and then carefully release the hands. Let it go, round it down. Slowly bring it to the mat. Place the hands onto the belly. Just rest there for 2 breaths in and out. Breath in and breath out. Take hold of the thighs, just pull the knees into the chest. Take the knees out wide of the body, happy baby. Hold on to the outside edges of the feet. Really try and pull the feet down, kick the heels away. Should find that more of the lower back comes into contact with the ground. So you're trying to pull the feet towards you, push the heels up. So 2 opposite forces, and pull the shoulder blades into the back. Keep the chest open, keep the shoulder blades down to the ground. And then slowly release. Take the right foot down to the right corner of the mat. Take the left foot down to the left corner of the mat. Turn the toes out and open the arms wide. So take the arms right out to the side, palms face up to the sky. And quite a lot of opening through the chest. So let's keep with that for Shavasana. Let's try and hold on to that space there. And take a few big breaths to close out the practice. So everything you've got, all your energy, breathe in through the nose. Get rid of everything you don't need, out through the mouth. In through the nose, big full breath. Out through the mouth. One more, in through the nose. Out through the mouth. And then lie in stillness. With the shoulders heavy, with the hips heavy. Feet, lower body relaxed. Hips are happy, chest is open. Loads of space for big, full breaths to rush in, to nourish, energize. And then easy, no resistance as we let that out breath go. Notice the softness to the expression in the face. Notice the lack of tension through the jaw, the throat, the neck. And then wriggle your fingers, wriggle your toes. Small movements to start with. Let the movements get bigger, involving the ankles, the wrists. Take the arms overhead, full body stretch. Reach the hands away, point the toes away. How long can you make yourself? Point to reach, point to reach. And then bring the knees in. Give yourself a big hug. Hug the knees in, squeeze it nice and tight. And then rocking to a seat. Keep the eyes closed, don't need to rush to open the eyes. Turn the palms face up. Pull the shoulders down, the back. Lifting from the chest, lifting from the heart. Reaching out through the crown of the head. Ask yourself if your posture has changed. If it's changed and you want to keep that with you for the rest of the evening. Maybe even trying to take it with your awareness into tomorrow, into the weekend. Reach the arms up to the sky, big breath in. Hands into prayer, heart center, big breath out. Bow the chin to the chest. Thank yourself for giving up time to practice this evening, for joining me. Namaste.